yeah, I was saying about that the possession of people by the demons and ghosts or the dark spiritual powers here in Uganda is really a fact and it's real. Because where I come from in the village, yeah, there is a guy or a kid, there is a father, he's a witch and he has shrines, but one of his sons is possessed by the demons. So he's like a vessel to when if you want to attack him, they go through him, that his son, one of his sons. So he's possessed. Sometimes when they come and possess him, he hits himself. He wants to go hit himself in the roads. He hurts himself and he can even hurt other people.
So like what we read in the Bible, right?
Yeah. So he can even hurt other people, and he hurts himself because he feels like he's not himself. But he's a vessel for the witch. His dad is a witch. He's a witch doctor. So he's chosen like a vessel where maybe he filters his powers. I don't know. So he's tied on chains. Even you can go see him at any time you want.
The boy is tied on,
Yeah,
chains.
on chains.
For how many years has he been tied on chains?
So long, since I've been there for almost now 10 years. I'm seeing him. They release him sometimes and they have to chain him again. They release him sometimes. I think they have a way to indicate that now they possess him. Now they chain him like a dog because of possessions. Now like that's life almost 10 years now, because I've spent 10 years away and I've been seeing that.
And is that the guy who sacrificed his relatives?
No, that's a different one now.
It's a different one?
Yeah, no, this is just a witch doctor in the area. And he's known. He even has shrines, you know him as a witch doctor. So
and what about the other guy?
And that guy is also in the same area where I come from, that side. For money, because here in Uganda or here in Africa, they believe that there are spirits where you have to make sacrifices and ceremonies, and then you give them blood in case you sacrifice for money. In return, they give you money, but then you have to sacrifice. They decide for you for what they need for you to retain that money, to get the money. So the witch doctor can tell you, in case you want to have this money, you have to sacrifice, like, let me say, your son or your sister or this, whatever he chooses for you.
But you said that guy, he sacrificed most of his relatives except two.
Yeah, except now 2 and some few I don't know, but most of his relatives were sacrificed. An accident where he had to at last where he had to see that his money, which he got from the dark powers, was useless.
Why useless?
Because he couldn't have people to give it to. Now, like the relatives where you have a lot of money, you go to the village and buy them this and that, there were no more.
So he sacrificed people from the village as well?
His relatives, like let me say now, some people work in town and then go to the village sometimes. Like you're working in Kampala, then like in the holidays, you have to take things for the people in the village, sugar, salt, this and that. So now when you reach the next thing, when you have nobody there, because most of the people don't come from town. They come from the village, then come in town to hustle. Then they have other people left in the village, sisters, siblings, whatever. So then lastly he couldn't see, like now in the village where I come from, nobody's left there.
But what fact? That's a serious accusation. You blame that guy, or you accuse that guy that he. What kind of facts do you have?
The fact is that I've seen it several times, and I was there at the station when he was saying it out. Now he was saying it out to the people. I have been using dark magic. I've been using witches, but now I give up. Let somebody come and help me to release me from this. And now he was saying it out on an announcement in the village, in the old village, to know. So in the center, that's where the other witch doctor had to come to get some of his things. And now he's still alive, but he's like a mad person. After taking, I think they took away the spirits and the things which he was using, and now he's like a mad person.
Really?
Yeah, he's still alive, but like a mad person. It's not like the way he used to be. That means if the spirits possess you or you use them, you think you use them, but they use you. You cannot use the dark spirits.
So he can no longer work. He lost all his possessions.
He's not working. Most of his business has failed. They went away after releasing out his secrets of the dark using in people in public.
But did he also admit that he killed people?
Yeah.
But what about the police? How did the police react?
I don't know about that, but they never did anything about him.
What is your opinion about that story?
Yeah. Anyway, his statement, what he has said, it is true. Actually, it is. It happens here. It normally happens, and many people are doing that. They are doing those things. But mine, it differs from his.
It what? Yeah.
It differs from his.
Yes.
Actually, my deliberation, it is on our family, family spirits. That's where I want to elaborate more. It is about, we have clans. Actually, in our region, Buganda as a region, we have a Kabaka as a head. Then that Kabaka as a head, we have different clans from there. Now, each clan has a
Totem.
spirits, ancestral spirits for that clan, and there is a subdivision, division of power. Then from prime minister, then coming lower like that. But whichever stage you reach, there is also spirits. So it comes up to the families, from the Kabaka coming down to the families now, and each family here in Uganda, as long as you are in Uganda, each family there is spirits.
Yeah, they possess the spirit. That's right.
So now it depends on that family how it work upon with its spirits. So, and those spirits are ancestral spirits, and they have been there generations and generations. We've been our grands. They had it, and whichever generation has been there, they have been having it, and they keep on handing it over to the next generation and next generation. So it is like inheritance. We come and get it. So now, even as what we are having, we shall hand it over to our kids. So now, these spirits are very sensitive, and they are very powerful, and they are real. Actually, it can work. It can work for you if you really also put a hand in it. So if you keep it safe, and if you keep on monitoring and let me say praising them, because also you have to go and visit and do something for them, for those spirits. So you have to gather as a family, praising, singing, praising those spirits, ancestral spirits, so that they come and work for you. They do come and speak to us if we gather, but they come in a way that they have to possess someone for them to to bring out what they want to say. So now, but other people, they use it badly. They are those who take other things because they are some was dark magic. Ours, they can bring their dark magic and again add it in our spirits, family spirits. And those spirits, they don't actually connect with that dark magic. That's where I wanted to elaborate more because of my friend which I said. If you bring those dark magic, as he has been saying it, and add it in a family ancestral spirits, those two, they really repel. They don't connect.
Yeah. But you told me that your family, the problem occurred that they were possessed, all of them, very sick, mentally sick.
Exactly.
And that's why you had to do that ceremony.
Exactly. That's where I wanted to bring out the picture how it comes.
Yes.
How it comes. So now, when you as a family, when you take time, minus doing some ceremonies for those spirits, like let's say everyone goes on his home, those spirits will actually get annoyed. You have to build there a temple where you keep them from. And these spirits, they are not visible.
Yeah.
They are not visible. But actually sometimes there are things, to my family, there are certain things which they wrapped in actually it is it is unexplainable, because you can see something wrapped and you can't tell what is inside there. But they keep it safely.
It's in a bark cloth.
Exactly. They keep it safely. And once it goes, bringing it back, you need money power. You need to do some ritual ceremonies. You need to bring some witch doctors who can bring it. And catching it is very difficult, because some small thing like this which is wrapped in a cloth, it needs like 20 people to hold it. To hold it if it has.
Have you seen that, or why are you saying
Of
that?
course, I've ever seen it because one of the spirits had gone, and when they brought it back, they had to bring a witch doctor who did some stuff there, and called that spirit to come back. When it came back, where they had wrapped it, where they wrapped it from, the cross where they tied it, it started jumping like this.
Yeah,
The cross jumping.
It's the same story that I told you about my brother when he died in the village.
I don't know the story.
Yeah, the one which we say that yeah, in the village. And then when they came in the village, they were claiming that it's the spirits. The man bought the dark spirits, like he said. And then when he brought the dark spirits, they are called Mayembe here in Uganda. And then when he brings them, sometimes he fails to control them. So now they go on killing people in the society. So even my brother, one of my brother was taken through that. He died.
That small boy?
Yeah, he died because of that. Because he was coming back from school, not sick, not having any problem. Then just in the way, he felt like something was holding his neck.
Yes.
Then when they came to save him, they were like seeing handprints in the neck, but nobody was there. Then he died, just like that.
And then they did the investigation.
So when they made the investigation, now people were fed up. One of the brothers of that person who was claimed to be had brought those things in the village he had also a son. Just in a few days after my brother died, he also lost a son. So now they had to gather as a village. Now this is not good. Let's call the people in charge and we talk. And now the only thing they can do, people here don't think about Christian, that they will bring a pastor to play. No, they will think about a witch doctor to come.
Really?
Yeah. So when what they did, they called the witch doctor to come in the village. So I was also there at the spot because we are just from burying my little brother. When he went there, the brother of that person who's claimed to have brought those things in the village, I saw the same thing as my brother as he said. They got a bottle. They dug like 5 feet down in the house of a person. So deep. Yeah, in the house of a person. When the witch doctor came, they have their spirits, which indicate the dark spirits.
Okay.
So
really?
Yeah, because he came with just a stick, then he had to roll it just like this, and then the stick has to move when nobody is holding it, and then when it reached somewhere, it had to fall down and started shaking from there. So the witch doctor had to direct his followers. He had his people who follow him and like the people in charge, next in charge. He had to tell them dig there a hole. Okay. Like 6 feet down. Yep. In the house of a person. Yep. To a brother. And after digging there, what they found was a bottle, a glass bottle, when there are some like bones of a creature. And then at the other side, they found also some bones which look like human bones, wrapped in a bark cloth. Also. And then they found the other tin. And then what was funny there, a bottle, when it's day, at 1 noon in the day, a bottle had to try to escape. What? A bottle had to try to escape when everybody was seeing it. Angela was seeing it, everybody was there.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
A bottle?
Yeah, a bottle.
So this is like what we hear from Kome, flying bottles, killing people.
Now what he said. A bottle jumped out, Mickey, a bottle jumped out of a window when I'm seeing. Yes. It jumped out the window.
Who is going to believe that story?
And it was, it's the fact. It's the fact.
It's real.
And the people, as he said, that thing is so strong. It's so strong, not even 20 people. You need like people so strong to hold it. Either that spirit, the spirit man or the witch doctor and his followers, and then those he chooses to help him. Because when the bottle ran out of the wind and fell out in the banana plantation, they had to chase it. A bottle running in the noon, and people were running away out of the place, running. And then he had to chase and jump on it as he jumped on it. He jumped on it and held it. And he was like, he was sweating. He was sweating like, he had to call his helpers and come and hold it too. Sweating, shaking, fighting with the bottle.
And you were there and
yeah, I was at the spot.
And you're not lying.
I'm not lying, it's a fact. It's the fact, I don't know.
What about that cow head they found in that house? Did you see that one?
Yeah, everything was there. And then the tin, when they bought the tin, because he had his water from a pot, which when he gets it, like maybe to make it weaker, he had to pour that water on it.
Okay.
Yeah. So when they had to bring it, just crawling it down, not carrying it, but crawling it down back to the spot where he wants it, maybe where he put his trap where it cannot go out, they had to fight with it to bring it back in the middle. when the crowd was seeing it, everybody was seeing it. So he poured that water, and now it calmed down. Now to open the tin, there was also tin put with also other things, which seems like also little bones of other creatures. They opened the tin, and then there had to come like a millipede, like a live millipede from the bones, yet it wasn't there, the live millipede, and then it was also trying to escape.
Now, how many children were killed due to that incident?
Yeah, almost like 5 in the village, just in a few times, in a range of like 2 months.
5 children.
Yeah, because my brother died, and then someone had also lost, and that very brother to the person who was claiming to bring the things had lost also 2 people.
And you said that this guy, he had from his father, he took that.
Yeah, now the things now the person who brought the things to the village had passed away, and as he passed away, as he said, those things when they come in the family, they are heritage. So now the woman also stayed, now practicing the ceremonies, because they knew that it was their riches coming from those dark spirits. Yeah.
What riches did they have?
Just they had it. People are not even rich in that. They just had a tiny house. They just like, I don't know even what they look for it, but that's what they claim to be rich. When somebody has like 10 cows, having a farm, a land, now they have borders in the village, they think they are rich. So.
And they think it's
Yeah.
because of the spirit that they got that Buddha.
Yeah, it's the spirits.
Is it true? They believe that they got the Buddha because of the spirit doing this witchcraft thing.
Those ones, they are terrible.
What do you mean terrible?
Those steps that he's talking about. It is true, some people they use it to become rich, but it is terrible. It is different from our family spirits, ancestral spirits. Ours are very friendly.
Friendly, but you said they possessed 5 kids in one family.
Yeah, it depends. It depends. They are very friendly if you do cultural ceremonies to them, and you don't add those dark spirits.
What he was saying is, the family spirits are good. Sometimes they use for healing. Yeah, I can say that here in Uganda they believe it, because each and every family of Uganda, they possess that.
But I would like to narrate mine, then and I go. I would like to narrate my story, because actually I might go astray.
Do you go where? Where do you go? You're getting possessed.
Yeah,
where you go?
Okay. Just I wanted to narrate about the
it's good.
Spirits.
It's good.
So the way they are friendly and how they can become tough.
But I wanted to know, you started the story by telling me that you had to do that ceremony because 5 kids are mentally sick.
Yes.
And you had to appease your ancestors with a ceremony, and that ceremony scared you very much.
Yes. Actually, me as a person, I had never attended such a ceremony.
First time in your life?
It was my first time in my life. And actually, I had become a born-again Christian. So, but as they told us that we are going to have a family gathering at our base home, I had to go there and have a visit there. But what I saw there, it was actually interesting, and actually, I was so surprised. This came the way, as I've said, that they are sometimes friendly and tough, but for us, we had taken time. We had ignored those spirits. We had ignored them, so they became hungry to us, to the family, and for them, they cannot possess someone and tells you that I feel bad to you, or we are annoyed because for you guys you don't care about us. For them, they will just do action. They will act in a way whereby everyone can observe. You can either use your common sense to ask yourself what is really happening, because even it can sabotage your life. In a way whereby if you have been financially stable, you might start losing your things slightly one by one. Then it can possess people in your family, It might not be necessarily yours, because as relatives, it can come and choose one person in your family, your home, and another person from your relative, like that in that circle of a family. So, but if you gather and ask yourself what is really happening, you you can you can know that something is not really moving well in the family. So if you go back to the temple of the family, you do some cultural ceremonies.
Like what?
Some cultural like we do make a campfire, but not this one of having fun. This campfire, there are other things which we do, like singing. We bring also drums and start singing. There are those songs which are praising them and calling them. So if we start singing those songs, those spirits, they do come.
And then how do they communicate with you?
They do come. They get one person and
Possess it.
possess. Then they start speaking.
In that event, who was possessed?
In that event, there is a guy who was among in our family, but he was one was a gentleman, just a youth. Another one was a girl. But the girl, it was very weak, very weak in her normal life. But when she was possessed, the girl became so strong. Even her voice turned to the way that the sound changed, as if it is like a loudspeaker. It became so solid. It became so
I understand.
powerful.
And you heard that?
Yes.
You?
Yes, I heard it because I was seeing it. I was there on the campfire. For us, we continued singing and drumming. Then the girl started eating fire.
Eating fire?
Yes, she was getting this.
Eat.
She was getting this. How can we? Charcoal. The red charcoal, which is well burnt.
Yeah.
She started chewing. I said, what is going on here? The girl was chewing. Then after she screamed, can I have silence? Everyone had to keep quiet. Then we gave her the platform.
Boss.
We gave her the platform. We welcomed. We started asking, can we know who has come? And the spirit started introducing itself.
Who was it?
It was Mukasa, Jaja Mukasa. First we call it Jaja Mukasa.
Jaja?
The supreme head of the spirits in our family. Then they started asking, okay, Jaja, we've been looking for you. Where have you been? Then he started narrating. We had left because you guys, you brought other dark evils and added in us.
Did they do that?
Yes, and for us, we don't connect with those.
Who did it in your family?
For us, the one who did it had already died even. And it was done a long time ago, actually before us.
Really?
Yes.
But they're still thinking about it?
Yes, those devils, for them, they had disappeared. They disappeared from there. That's why most of the young kids were getting abnormal. Someone who was born normal, he started swelling. He started moving like a mad person. So it became abnormal.
You said one person did not follow something, and then next day, what's that? What was that exactly?
That is another story.
Yeah.
That is another.
Well, you know,
story.
it's already 24 minutes, so.
Really?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So.
What is that story? Because that was shocking.
Okay. Anyway, that one. I wanted to summarize this one.
Okay, summarize it.
Okay. To cut the story short.
Yes.
He told us what we have to do.
What did you have to do, or what
we had to bring a goat, and he doesn't want blood for him. We did it, and we had to eat that meat raw without salt. I don't know the reason behind that, but that's what we did. And everything After doing that, what he had told us, because the one who did it, who had brought that devils, had died. So he told us to get someone who can call that spirit who did it. So they brought a witch who went to the grave of that person who did it, and he raised that spirit again,
Are you
someone who
serious?
had died.
Are you serious?
Again, he possessed someone, and he started telling us how he did it. And he told us eventually how we can do it to come out of it. Eventually, they did it, and all those guys who were possessed by those spirits, then again became normal.
So what about that family who became sick afterwards?
That family, it's a lady. A
Exactly. Yeah.
lady was having those, the family spirits. And for her, she was the one who was keeping it. And for her, she decided she became born again Christian eventually. Then after that, I think was told by the pastor that all those devils we have to burn. And for her, she followed the pastor and she burnt those family spirits.
And then?
And then all her children became mad.
Sure. How many children?
He had 5 children. And
All?
Yes, and one was in German.
Even the one in Germany?
Even one was in German. He was the last to get mad. They just called her that your daughter has become mad. We don't know what is happening, but he's on the street talking things which we cannot actually explain. These ones who were here, they became mad one by one. One was started to collect bottles from the Lord. Another one started moving anyhow. Then the lady was not getting it, and people were telling her, just because you destroyed your spirits, and actually you have to do, you have again to follow the procedure and do those ritual ceremonies.
Really?
To
So
gather
the
them
bondage
back.
is so strong
Yes.
that it follows you for generations,
Yes.
and they are still insisting.
Yes.
What are they gaining from slaughtering a goat? I don't get that. What they are spirits. What are they gaining when you slaughter a goat?
It's like conditions that those spirits give you. Actually, even for them, they can they ask you something as a reward. You offer them something and also work for you. So it is like that. But for them, they don't need blood because.
And adding on Mickey's, I think the reason why they ask for something, if you are disobeyed them, then they have to tell you to ask you for something so that you do it, to show that now you are back into obeying back. So I think that's why they ask for.
I'm a bit wondering because we also have dead people, as you can imagine, in the so-called West. But these stories you are telling us here,
They may not be knowing it, but for us.
well, we have people who are mentally sick. There's no doubt about that, and there could also be a generational curse. There's also no doubt about that. But to the extent that they follow you and force you to follow some special ritualistic ceremonies, we don't have that, definitely.
Really?
No, and people would not even believe it. When people listen now to your story,
Yeah.
eventually they can accept that you're not lying, but they would still say it's a bit unrealistic and just some weird stuff.
And actually,
We have to finalize now. It's
Yes.
coming to half an hour.
This lady, not only her children that suffered, all her relatives like that, those are in a circle of her family. Those who were wealth, their cars started getting accidents, their business, they started losing their business. Actually, they started suffering because of her who had spoiled everything. But the family...
But she didn't spoil. She's a born-again Christian.
She spoiled the family spirits. She burnt them and they started moving. For them, they don't die.
But do you believe that these spirits are in these fetishes or what?
Yes.
They are bound there or what?
Yes, for them, that's where they keep it from. But if you
It's like a prison.
No, that's where they keep it from. And for them, they are safe. You go there, praising, and put there some money, ask what you want, and actually, eventually, you will get it. You can put some little money.
We got the overall picture here. Thank you for that very interesting conversation. No, thank you indeed.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.